to Saturday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where this should be a fairly awesome edition of this video series, I think. And that is because we are going to be majoring today on monstrously hard puzzles. But before I get on to all that, I want to start by wishing Andrew Cooper a very, very happy 26th birthday. Andrew, your girlfriend, Becky Jones, got in touch with us and said that you've been enjoying the channel since furlough, back in the dark days of COVID. And yeah, we're thrilled to hear that you enjoy watching, and I hope you've had a super day today and you've managed to have a large slice of cake. Now, what am I talking about when saying that today's all about very hard puzzles? Well, it is because there are two things going on. The first is this puzzle on the screen, which is called Overflow, and it's by TotallyNormalCat. Now, TotallyNormalCat is a creature not known for their benevolence when it comes to solvers. They are known for just being extraordinarily clever. I mean, what is wonderful about solving puzzles on Cracking the Cryptic is that these great constructors just give you a glimpse into their incredibly beautiful minds. And while we have no clue really what's going on in their minds, we're just offered a little shadow that makes us think we can start to understand them. And that's probably what's going to happen today. This is just a normal killer Sudoku, apparently. But I think it's got 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty on Logic Masters Germany. A monstrously high sort of beauty rating. So it should be fabulous, but this might make for a long video. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about is a competition that we are going to start imminently, either today if I get time to upload it on Patreon, or tomorrow. And this is to do with the wonderful constructor Philip Newman. Now, many of you will know Philip's name if you've been following the channel for any amount of time at all. And those of you who are sort of into your Sudoku theory might know that Philip is at the forefront of the moment of discovering, I suppose, the hardest classic Sudokus that exist in nature. And we actually get a lot of requests on the channel to solve a classic Sudoku that did the rounds a few years ago, which was described as the hardest Sudoku ever, and that's by Arto in Kala. And you know, if you do a newspaper search, it's always the puzzle that comes up. Well, sort of Sudoku has moved on since those days, and in terms of the rating of brutally hard Sudoku puzzles, that puzzle, which was, you know, only solvable by iterative guessing, I think, or very, very strange techniques, now only merits something like a 10.7 on the difficulty scale, whereas Philip has been discovering puzzles that are the hardest ever. They rate apparently at 11.9 on the difficulty scale. So imagine the difficulty scale is like a Richter scale. You know, 11.9 is pretty catastrophic. Now, I think Philip told me that there have been 15 such 11.9 puzzles discovered. This is one of them, actually. Philip sent me one. This is called Loki. But this is not our competition puzzle, because this has been published before. But Philip has provided us with a brand new puzzle, which is called PALPATINE'S Design. And that's going to go up on Patreon either today or tomorrow. And we are going to have a competition. And we're going to judge the competition by the best answer. That doesn't mean just send us the answer to the puzzle, because a computer will be able to work out how to fill the Sudoku in, but it won't be able to understand how to do it. And there is a beautiful trick, as always, on Cracking the Cryptic. We're not going to make you do chaining and stuff like that. This puzzle, Palpatine's Design, has a beautiful trick that you can discover, and it will allow you to solve the hardest classic Sudoku that exists in nature. And this is what we want to find out whether people can spot. So, by the way, I don't know what the trick is. Philip's told me there's a trick. I do not know what it is yet. I'm still mulling over the idea of having a go at this in a live solve, although Mark has had a look at this and says don't bother. Apparently it's just ludicrously difficult. But anyway, find the beautiful trick, send us a solution document where you explain the beautiful trick, and then we will mark those documents, and somebody will win, or one or two of you will win Bubba Is You keys. So something a bit different today, and I hope that that's interesting to those of you into your hard puzzles. Now, the other thing to mention on Patreon, this is nowhere near as difficult, is tomorrow is the deadline for the monthly reward. Now, the monthly reward is much easier. We've had 2,000 correct solutions to that so far, and you've still got 1 day left. So if you are still working on it, please get your answer in by 4 p.m. tomorrow. Now, that's all I've got to tell you about various interesting things. So let's get on with Overflow, which is another interesting thing. And I will read you the rather short rules today. Normal Sudoku rules apply. In cages, digits must sum to the small clue in the top left corner of the cage. Digits cannot repeat within a cage. That's it. So that means those 6 cells add to 37. And whatever we put in that cell, if we put a 5 in there, you can't then have a 5 here, because obviously these 5s repeat in the cage, and that's not allowed. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video, as usual, and now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, okay. Now, let me just stare at this for a moment or two. I can see 2 8 cages, actually. They must have 1s in them. Let's put those in and make us feel like we're making progress. Right. There's a couple of things I want to explore immediately. I don't know which one to do first. There's these 37 cages, which look like they're the biggest total, or the highest total cages in the puzzle. And they look a little bit interesting to me, especially regarding the 8s that are next to them. But perhaps the more obvious place to start might be box 3 here, because it looks like these cages are all quite large, and I'm wondering if we can do some maths on this box. So we know, of course, because of the secret, the value of the green cells. Now, if you don't know the secret, where have you been? But luckily I do tell people the secret. I tell my favorite people the secret, and if you're watching this video, you're definitely one of those people. And the secret is that any complete row, any complete column, or indeed any complete box of a Sudoku will contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. And if you add up the digits 1 to 9, you get 45. So now there must be a relationship between this cell and these 2 digits, because the caged digits here sum up to 54. So 54 for the cage digits plus that digit is 54 plus x, but we know that this box adds to 45. So we know that these 2 digits must add up to 9 more than this digit, is what I want to say. So if this digit is a 4, I want to say that those 2 have to add up to 13. Now, is that a truth that is self-evidently obvious or not? So if these added up to 13, we know these the remaining cells in the cages would add up to 54 minus 13, which is 41 plus 4 is 45. Yeah, so that works. So it works, but it's totally unhelpful. So this digit and these digits have a relationship, but it's not. No, I'm sorry. Okay, this was not where we should have started, I don't think. That does not seem to be helpful. There's there's almost the same thing going on in box 9. I'm just going to check this box as well. It doesn't look as good because I've only got 31 there, 48 there. So whatever this digit is, has to be this digit has to be 3 less than those 2 digits, I think. So if that was a 1, these would have to add up to 4. Now, is that right? Let's just check. 13, 14. Yes, it is. Okay, no, sorry, I'm not. All right, let's go back to the other thought then. Let's have a look at the 37 cages. Now, actually, because of the secret, we know that this 37 cage, which is 6 cells large, is missing 3 digits that sum up to 8. And the way to see that is obviously if this was a 9-cell cage, it would add up to 45. It's a 6-cell cage adding up to 37, so it's missing 3 digits, and 45 minus 37 is 8. So what I want to do is to establish whether the 8 that's missing from there, is that the same 8 as that 8 in that cage there. So is that a region of the grid? Is that a region that sums to 45 and contains 9 different digits? No, it's not. Right. Okay, this might be interesting. So what I was wondering is, because I know that this cage is missing 3 digits that sum to 8, what if the 3 digits it's missing are those 3 digits? Well, if that's true, then this is like an extra region of the Sudoku. It's like an extra 3x3 box. It would have to contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. That doesn't work. And it doesn't work because this digit has to now be a Schrödinger cell. It has to be 2 things simultaneously. It has to be alive and dead. And it's not alive and dead. And why do I say it has to be alive and dead? Well, it's because this digit has to find a home inside box 1. And where are we going to put that digit in box 1? And the answer is there. That's the only place it can go. If this is an extra region, because we can't repeat this yellow digit in any of those cells, and we can't put it in the same column, it's got to go here. But then this digit has exactly the same problem. It can't repeat in the blue region. It can't go there by Sudoku, so it has to be there. And that contradicts everything. Because this cannot simultaneously be, say, a 1 and a 2. Whatever these digits are can't exist simultaneously in that cell. So that's a contradiction that is interesting to me, because that is telling us that these 3 digits are not the missing digits from the 37 cage. They are, well, well, 2 of them have to appear in the 37 cage. Right. 2 of them have to appear in the 37 cage. So these 2, yeah, so let's imagine this was a 1, 2, 5 triple. We now know that the 2 and the 5 have to appear in here. And sorry, I've elided over a small point here, which is that a 3-cell 8 cage has to either be 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. Now, because we've now proved that whatever the version is of this 8 cage, so say it's 1, 2, 5, there has to then be a 2 and a 5 in the 37 cage. You can't make this a 2-5 pair, because that would require this one to be a Schrödinger cell, and that won't work. So this square is not a 1. That I was about to put 2 or 5 in. It might not be a 2 or a 5, but it's got to be a 2, 3, 4 or 5. Because it's got to be part of the pair of the 8 cage to add up to 7. It's either got to be now I'm confusing myself, actually. That is true, but yeah, this digit, because this can't be a 2-5 pair, or indeed a 3-4 pair, because that's going to make this square have to be both of those digits. There must be a 1 in this domino. This must be, well, one of a 2, 3, 4 or 5. Its pair in here then has to go in there. So yeah, okay, that is a deduction then. Yes, so the counterpart, let's do this slowly just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So let's imagine this is 1, 2, 5. We've now proved the 1 must be up there. So this is a 2 or a 5. This has to go in one of those 5 cells, because the 2 or the 5 that's in this domino we know exists within the 37 cage, so it has to go there. But of course this might not be 1, 2, 5. This could just as easily be 1, 3, 4. So 3, 4, 5. We know the 1 is there, so this becomes 2, 3, 4, or 5. And whatever is in this cell is in that cell. So this, let's give that a yellow flash. That exists in that domino there. And this one exists in one of those 5 cells there. In fact, we can probably just remove the blue, can't we? Okay. Maybe I'll make that one blue. So, what does that mean? Right, I know what this means. Okay. Yes, I do know what this means. So this 37 cage, which we know is missing 3 digits summing to 8. So we know it's missing a 1. That's fine. The 1 in box 1 is in this domino. But it's also missing 2 other digits that add up to 7. It's either missing a 3 and a 4 or a 2 and a 5. Now, those can't go in here because we know that this one and this one are sharing those digits. So these 2 digits have to add up to 7, and they are 2, 3, 4, or 5. So, oh no, I thought I had a quadruple. No, I don't have a quadruple. No, I don't. And I thought I did, but I don't. I've got the makings of a quintuple. Right. Column 1. Yes. Right. Look at these 3 cells. Now, is it possible that none of these digits is a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Well, if none of them was a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, these would be a minimum of 6 plus 7 plus 8, which is 21. That would require these 2 cells to be double 1 to make 23, and that won't work. So there must be a low digit, i.e. a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 in those 3 cells, which means there is a sort of virtual quintuple in the column, and these squares have got to be 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s. And there can only be 1 low digit in here, so there must be 2 high digits. So the minimum the 2 high digits are going to add up to is 6 plus 7, which is 13. So the other 3 digits in this cage have to add up to 10. Now that would be very interesting if we could eliminate 1 from this cage, but I don't think we can. An 18 cage has to have a 1 in it. Yes, it does, because 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is 20. So there is actually a 1 in that cage. It's very difficult to put. No, actually, no, it's not impossible, though. It's not impossible. Yeah, okay. I think you can put a 1 in the 23 cage, so we can't use that to help us. It's very interesting and very strange how these 8 cages work with the 37. Oh, yes, and we got another one here. Oh, actually, I've just noticed. Look at that. If you highlight that, that's the same shape. Ah, so this is obviously deliberate. This is TotallyNormalCat laughing at me. Why could I not see that that was basically the same shape as that? And it is identical in terms of its geometry. You know, it's got these 2 cells being those 2 cells and 2 cells sticking out. That's so strange that I couldn't see that. Oh well. Okay, so what does this mean? Have we got the same thing going on? The answer is, if that's it must work the same way. Yes, it does. So if this 8 cage here was the missing 8 from the 37 cage, This orange region would be an extra region of the Sudoku, and then we would have to ask where these two digits go in box 5, and they both have to go in that cell. That's nonsense. So this 8 cage is a version of an 8 cage. So say it's 1, 2, 5. There must be a 2 and a 5 in the 37 cage. That means that again, yes, it's the same thing again. The 1 can't live here in the 8 cage, because then this would say be 3, 4. But we know we have to put 3 and 4 in the 37 cage. They both have to go there. So there must be a 1 in that domino. There is no 1 in this cell. And this digit... okay, so this digit goes in the 37 cage. So... Hang on. Now I'm being slow again. I keep feeling like I've almost got this, and then my brain fails. So this digit is a 2, 3, 4, or 5. But I don't think I know anything really about where that goes in this box. This digit... yeah, okay. This digit must be so there must be a 2, 3, 4, or 5 in here that needs to appear in the 37 cage. So this digit is in there. We'll use orange for that. It would be lovely to know whether those digits were... Well, they're obviously different. Let me just think about this now. So this digit can't go there. So it has to be in one of 4 places. That's completely useless, I think. Let me just... What colour can I give this that I've not used yet that's not going to be offensive to the world? Let's use... I don't know. Purple? So this can be purple, and then purple must live in the 37 cage and not be orange. So I think it's got loads of different possibilities for where it goes. But then we've got the same consideration about the missing digits from the 37 cage here are 1 and then 2 digits that sum up to 7. And those 2 digits, because they can't go in the 8 cage, must go in those 2 cells. So those 2 cells I will make dark grey. No, don't like that. Let's use red. Not massively keen on that either, but I think I'll use red because I prefer it to dark grey. Dark grey was a bit too close to light grey. So, although maybe it's better if let me just think about... I just want to try and rearrange my colours so I don't have orange next to red. I could change these ones to be blue. And then I could change that one to be orange. There we go. That's got the orange a little bit further away, while retaining, I think, the logic. So, what does this mean? So, how have I got this down to just 2 or 5? No, that's nonsense. I can't have got this down at all. I think that was when I was doing an example. It's definitely not 6, but it might be 3. So, yes, okay. So nearly, very nearly. Good grief. Okay, let's actually put in all this. So I've almost got a quadruple / quintuple in this column. Oh, that... do we need... Oh, I can't actually read that. What's that say? So this is an 18 cage. Yes, it's the same. It's the same logic. This domino down here. This 80. I don't know why the numbers are going over the thingy, but because this domino here, if it didn't have a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 in it, it would be a minimum of 6 plus 7, which is 13, which would require those 3 cells to add up to 5. That's impossible. 1 plus 2 plus 3 adds up to 6. So there must be a low digit in here, and that low digit completes a virtual quintuple in this column, which means these cells have to all be high digits. So this is 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s. Oh dear. Okay. No. Okay. Let's have a think about these then. What I want to do is to be able to colour those in relation to these. Or actually this one and this one. Yeah, so there must be some way, I think, of colouring. So if that's a 2-5 pair, that, oh, I see. Yeah, no, this is green, isn't it? Oh, this is beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. So because whatever goes in there, whether it's a 2-5 pair or a 3-4 pair, the point is it's not this, because this sees both of those digits. So this digit must be the other ways of making 7, i.e. these 2 digits are green. I've got rid of my red very quickly. Those are green digits. Which means, oh, and this is so clever. So now, once we've concluded these are green, now this orange is looking at that digit. So that digit must be yellow. I know it didn't look yellow, but it's now become yellow, which means this digit has become, you've guessed it, orange, which means these 2, which were originally purple, which was that digit, are not that anymore, and orange must be down here in one of these 2 cells. And yellow was blue, wasn't it? So that needs to turn yellow. There we go. So now I've freed up lots of colours. I've got yellow has to be in one of those 2 cells. It's weird. Although I have managed to do something quite cool there, I still don't know how the greens resolve themselves. Okay. What I must not do is think I've got 4 greens looking at this box and write a green in here, because that's not right. In fact, perhaps, yes, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my colouring for these 2. I'm going to give this one blue, and then I'm going to say these 2 are a green-blue pair to stop me doing that. So it's clear these 2 digits are different now. So now what can we say about the world? So I know, what's the digit that's, has this got a blue digit in it? Is that the point? Oh, I'm going mad now. I think I'm going crazy. What? I know that there's, yeah, one of the digits is a 1. Yeah, so if we take the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as a quintuple, I have coloured them all except a 1, and this column has a 1 in it, so there must be a blue digit in one of those 3 cells, but I don't know which one. Does that help me somehow? Probably is the answer, but I can't see how. Do I know anything about this box? What's this one? I keep forgetting what this adds up to. 18. But it's got one high digit down the bottom, but it might have a 1 in it. So it could have a 1 and a 6, which would be 7, which would mean these two cells have to add to 11. I don't know what to do. Sorry. I'm sure we can do something here. What is it? Orange is in one of 4 places in box thingy thing down here, box 7. Would really be genuinely useful if I knew the order of these two. Have we got a way of doing that? Do I know which one of these is green and which one is blue? There may be a way of knowing that, but I don't think I know what it is. Oh no, come on, Simon. How do you do this puzzle? Can we do we have to wend our way into the top right somehow? Don't know. This is fascinating, but then there must be an easier way. Can we? This one here. Oh, is that true? Oh, that's interesting. Right, okay. Look, this is a yellow. Yeah, okay. Where does yellow go in box 5? I don't think it goes there. That's a digit I'm going to get. If that's right, that's got to be a 1. Hang on, I'm just going to... I think I'm going mad. But, right, yellow is in the 37 cage at the top and in this 8 cage. And the work we did established that there was yellow in this 37 and this 8 cage. Yes, so yellow goes there. So this can't be a 1. And 1 must go there and not be yellow. Okay, so now 1 is not down there. So, yes, okay, so now my 23 cage doesn't have a 1 in it. Good grief, okay. And that's because there's a 1 in one of those 3 cells and this one here, and that seems to cater for the whole of the 23 cage. So if my 23 cage doesn't have a 1 in it, what is that telling us? It's telling us that if it's got... Oh, it has got 2 high digits in it. So it's got 2 high digits in it, which must add up to at least 13. It's got 3 digits in it then that are not 1, that have to add up to a maximum of 10. So it must contain 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 5. So it must have... So it must have 3 of the 4 coloured digits in it, I think. Oh, good. I've got it. Oh, good grief. Right. So the 23 cage has... it has, this is so clever, right, because of the mathematics of it, because we know there's 2 high digits in these 3 cells and they add up to at least 13, the other 3 digits in this cage, which don't include 1, have to be 3 coloured digits, and it doesn't have orange in it, because this orange rules those 2 out, and this orange rules that one out by being in its box, and these 2 out by being in its column. Now if it doesn't have orange in it, it must have all 3 other colours in it, which are yellow. Oh, this is so clever. This is so clever, TotallyNormalCat. Yellow. Where does yellow go? Yellow can't go here because yellow sees that cell, and it can't go in there. So that is yellow, which fixes the yellow in box 4. Of course it does. But we can do better, surely. It's got to have green in it. So that's got to be green. So this is green. And it has got blue. Okay. So, oh, look. The green is telling us the order of these. So that's blue. And that's green. And this is not blue. So blue is now one of those 2 cells. This square must be high now. Although actually, hang on, how high can we go? If we've got 3 digits that are either 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 5, you can never have a 9 in here, can you? 9 and 6 is 15. 15 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 24. That's too high. So there is a 9 in one of those 2 cells. And this is either, and then, and there must be a 6 in these 3 cells, because if there's not, the minimum would be 7 plus an 8, which is 15, and 15 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is still 24, which is still too high. So there's a 6 in there, which means these 2 are not 6. So this is 7s, 8s, and 9s. Blue must be down in this domino, because we worked out that this 18 cage needed a low digit at its base. Otherwise, if it's 2 high digits, we've got a problem, didn't we? So blue is in one of those 2 cells in box number 2. Right. Okay. So now right, here is something interesting. This 23 cage has in it a green digit and a blue digit. And the green digit and their blue digit have a sum, which is 7, because they are the digits that are missing from this 37 cage and this 8 cage. So if those 2 add up to 7, that means that, say it's those 2, they add up to 7. This digit can't be that high, because we've got at least 6 plus 7 as high digits in this 23 cage. That's 13. Plus 7 is 20, so this can't be higher than 3. That is 4 or 5. Now, sorry, so it's not 4 or 5. Now, that means this is a 2 or a 3, and that is a yellow digit, which is this one. So that's a 2 or a 3. We know that the partner for the lemon is the orange, which is this one. So that's got to be a 4 or a 5, because we know these 2 together add up to 7. So this square is a 2 or a 3. This square is not 2 or 3. This square is 2 or 3. That square is 2 or 3. Oh, these 2 squares now, we can remove 4 and 5 from them, because we know they're yellow and 1, and yellow is 2 or 3. This is 2 or 3. Well, we know there's a 4 or a 5 in one of those cells. It's just comedy. It's just comedy that anybody is this clever. It's so ridiculous. Honestly, it's not fair. Right. This 18 cage now, what is its nature? We should ask its nature and whether it has yellow in it. And it doesn't. It does not have a yellow in it. Now, if it doesn't have a yellow in it, that means it doesn't have a 2 or a 3 in it. Now, if it didn't have a 2 in it, what would it be? Well, its minimum values would be 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, I happen to know that 3, 4, 5, and 6 add up to 18, and once you add 1 to that, you get 19. There is a knowledge bomb for you. So that means this cage here must have a 2 in it. And if it has a 2 in it, that square there must be a 3. Because that is not in the 18 cage. So that these ones are all 3, and we get more digits. And we know 3 goes opposite 4. So 3, 4 is a pair, which means that the green blue pairs now are 2 5s, which is interesting. This is now a 1 3 pair. And that's, or hasn't that forced the 23 cage as well? Because now this, we know that the blue plus the green is 7, plus the 3 is 10. So the other two, the 2 high digits have to be minimized in order to keep them down to 13 and make the 23 cage work. So this sequence here does not have 8 in it. So this is 2's, it's a 2 and a 5, whatever is the counterpart to green, i.e. blue, and then a 6 or a 7. So there's no 7 in those cells. Is that right? Yes, that is right. So this is an 8 9 pair now. Yes. Ah, okay. And the corollary of what we did with the 18 cage, where we concluded it had to have a 2 in it, is, but it now doesn't have a 3 in it. So it must be 1 2 4 5 6. It must be. That's right. 1 2 4 5 and 6 is 18. So this cage is 1 2 4 5 6, and the 1 and 4 don't go there. So there must be a 1 and a 4 in here. So there's an orange in here, that means. So there is an orange digit down here. There's a blue digit over here. But blue, oh, hang on, this is all getting very confusing now. There's no... Is there a green digit in this one? That's what I'm trying to work out. Is there green in the 18 cage? I have a feeling there is. We know there's no... We know there's a 1 in it. We know there's a 6 in it. They're uncoloured digits. So there are 3 coloured digits. Yes, there are 3 coloured digits in the 18 cage. And I've only at the moment painted it with 2 colours. And I know it doesn't have yellow, so it does have green. And green is not there. And green is not here. So there it's... So, oh, no, okay. So one of those is green. I don't think I've got an orange-green pair in there, but I might be wrong about that. Wow. Wow. Oh! No! Right, okay. I don't have an orange-green pair in here, but I do have a 1 orange-green triple in there, because the 1 seems to have to be over here. So this is a 1 orange-green triple, which means there's no 6 in it. Yes, now it's making more sense. So now I've got a 1 in there, a 4 in there, which is the orange digit, and then a 2 or a 5, which is the green digit. And these have a 6 in them, and a blue digit, which is that one. Okay. How to make yourself look completely daft in front of quite a lot of people at TotallyNormalCat's expense. Right, I don't mind doing that though. This is just a glimpse into a gloriously brilliant mind, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. 3 is a bit restricted now in here, look. 3 has to be in one of... 3 has to be in the 17 cage. trying to remember what we said about the maths of this box. 30, what is that? 17. 48. That feels weird with the 3 here. Oh yeah, I get it. Right, this is beautiful. Okay, so now there is a problem if we put a 3 here. And that 3 here is a problem because now where are we going to put the 3 in this box? And the answer is there only, because 3 is ruled out of these squares by Sudoku and cannot repeat within its cage. So there would be a 3 here. But remember what we said about the mathematics of this box. We said that the sum of these 2 cells had to be 3 greater than this digit. Now, that's a problem now, because these 2 digits are suddenly the same. Well, they're 3, so what am I going to have to put there? And the answer is another 3, and that won't work. And that's beautiful, because it means that digit is now a 3. And that's, right, us doing loads of stuff. Immediately, not only are we yellowifying the 3, we've now got a 3 in here, but we've also got a relationship between those 2 digits, which now have to be the same. Because remember, we said that the difference between this domino and this is 3, and we've just put a 3 here. So those 2 digits must have the same value, which means purple is in one of these 2 cells. Right, but purple is not blue. So if that was, this is very confusing. If this was blue, which it could be, blue's in one of those 2. If that's blue, then that's purple. And that would make purple, I don't know actually, what would that make purple? It would make it a high number. That's what we can say. Yeah, in fact, yes, in fact, look, I'm being a bit slow here. There is, in these 5 cells, there are all 4 of my coloured digits. So there's a 2, 3, well, including this one. There's a 2, 3, 4, 5. Quadruple and a 1, so there's a quintuple. Yeah, these 6 cells contain a quintuple on 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So there's a high digit, a 6 or a 7 in one of those cells. Can't be both because this would break, and that means these cells have to be high digits. So they're 6, 7s, 8s and 9s. So if this is blue, this is a 6, 7, 8, 9, and these are 6, 7, 8 and 9. But this doesn't need to be. Yeah, okay. But if this is not, if purple was here, this couldn't be the blue digit. So this would have to, the blue digit would be here, and the blue digit is the 2 or the 5. So this would be a 6 or a 7. So either way round, because this blue digit sees this square, these squares are high. They're 6, 7s, 8s or 9s, depending on, well, it doesn't really depend, but that's what they are. Now, what does that do? The answer is don't know. But we could. Okay, now I do know. I do know what to do now. I think I do anyway. Hang on, let me just do the numbers in my head. I do know what to do now. I'm not. Oh, yes. Yes, I can see some things this is going to do. This is right. This is more beauty. More beauty. Look at this 3. Now that 3 is interesting as regards this 11 cage because it prevents the 11 cage from having an 8 in it. because if it does have an 8 in it, it would also have to have a 0 in it. Now, so if we can't put 8 or 9 in that 11 cage, we have the task of putting 8 or 9, or 8 and 9, into those 6 cells. Now, because there's a 3 in the 11 cage, you can't put 8 and 9 in the 20 cage, because then you'd need a 3 as well. So only one of 8 and 9 is in the 20 cage, which means one of 8 and 9 is in these 3 cells. Now, you can't now put 8 or 9 in here, because if you do, this 17 cage is broken, even if you put 8 in. 8 plus 6 plus 3 is already 17. You'd have to put 0 in here. So that means this little square is the 8 or the 9 that's missing from the top of the box. And that means that this can't be it, because that is not capable of being an 8 or a 9. So that means that has become purple and is an 8 or a 9, which means that's purple by colouring, because this obviously is an 8-9 pair and this is an 8-9 pair, so these must now be the same. Oh, this is frightening. No. Yes, yeah. Where does 8-9 go in this box? Where does purple 8-9 go in the middle box? There. By Sudoku. So there's an 8-9 in one of those 2 cells, and an 8-9 in one of these 2 cells. And this digit is the other version of 8-9. I'm not sure if I'm meant to be able to do something with that. And the 17 cage now needs a maximum of 6 into those squares. Right. So that's useful. So if these squares have to be from they have to be from digits that are lower than 6. So now I've got a 1, 2, 4, 5 quadruple in the bottom row. And that means this square cannot be a 2 or a 5, and that's a 6. Which means that 6 gets uncoloured, and this becomes blue, which means this is not blue, which means that becomes blue, which I think maybe we knew that at the moment. I'm not sure we did know that actually, but now I do know it. So that's now blue, which means it's not 6 or 7. Which means that my 2-5 pair is there and there, which means this square is not 2-5, this is 6 or 7. But, and this square is... is this all doable? I think this was all doable before, but by Sudoku I just didn't do it. Typical me. I've got an 8, 9... Oh, okay, where's 7 go in this row? It's got to go there. So now... So now I've got blue in here. So there's a blue down here. And that's interesting, because you can't put blue. So there can't be a 1. Is that wrong? Hang on, sorry. No. Oh, God, I see. Right, yeah, okay. Let's look at this cage now. This is really weird. I don't know why I can't just immediately see this, but I can't. Anyway, this square here now, what would happen if it was 9? And the answer is we've got a problem here. Because this domino has to add up to 5, but it has a blue digit in it. And the blue digit is a 2 or a 5. So if it's a 5, you have to put 5, 0 there. That doesn't work. If you put 2 down here, you've got to put another 3 in the box to give you the 5 you need, and you can't do that either. So this simply cannot be 9, and it's got to be 8. So 8, 8, 8, 8, 9. Now, come on. So now there must be a 9 in the 20 cage. There's a 9 in it and 2 cells that add to 11 that are not 2, 9 or 3, 8. So this has either got 4, 7 in it or 5, 6 in it. So it's got one coloured digit in it. Sorry, I'm not quite seeing what that does. This square here is no longer able to be 8 or 6 by the looks of things. There's a 6 down here. Yeah, we can take 6s out of here. Yeah, Sudoku, Simon. Do Sudoku. It is a Sudoku puzzle after all, however much you might try and resist that. The 19 cage can't have 8 in it now, so it must have 9 in it, and we know that because 5 plus 6 plus 7 is only 18. So there's got to be a 9 in here, and then 2 cells that add up to 10 that are not 1, 9 or 2, 8. So this is either 3, 7, 9 or 4, 6, 9. I'm not sure if that matters somehow, but I don't know how. I've got 1, 3, 2 and 5 along here, and and an 8 digit. I thought 8 was another low digit. 8 is not a low digit. Oh, although I do have the oranges down here as well. So surely that cell's restricted. Hang on, let's just think about that for a moment. One of these is orange. One of them, which effectively means that we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple in the row. Oh, 6, 7 or 9. That's no use at all. Still got 3 options. Okay. Where do we look now? We can look at this 11 cage needs 2 digits that sum up to 8 that are not 3, 5. So it's either got 1, 7 or 2, 6 in it. No, that's no good. Or we could look at maths on this. Oh, my daughter's shouting. I might have to pause in a second. I will try and carry on unless I think there might be trouble ahead. What was the maths of this box? That was, I can't remember what that cage was. 19, 39, 54. Oh, good grief, right. Hang on a minute. Yes, absolutely. This is beautiful. Right, I don't know what it does yet, but I can tell you this can't be a 9. And that's because of some of these cages being 54, if you would, whatever you put here, if this is 9, that's dealing with the difference between these 2 digits and this digit here. So the implication of that is that those 2 digits have to be the same number, but they're in the same row of the Sudoku. That's not going to work. And we can look, we can see this. Let's just put a 1 in and check the maths on this. So if this is 1, we now know that these 2 had to be 10 greater than, 9 greater. Now I'm going mad. These have to add up to 10. They have to add up to 9 more than 1. So you can see that now this has to be a 1 as well. And let's check the maths of this work. So if these add up to 10, we know that those 8 cells add up to 44 because the cages add up to 54, and 44 plus 1 is 45. So it's all working perfectly except for the fact that we've got this repeated digit. So this is not 9. 9 moves up into the into the cage, well, into box 3. Right, now yeah, okay, so whichever one of these digits is needed for this 19 cage, because this 19 cage is either 379 or 468, and 3 and 4 can't go there. Those squares are a 3, 4, well, they have to be this low digit up and the 9. So this digit is a 6 or a 7. Ah! You rotten thing, it does nothing. Ah, no, it does nothing. Until I know what that is, I can't get a handle on what those... Well, unless I could limit if I could limit this digit, then I could limit that digit. This digit does see a 2-5 pair, look, because it sees both green and blue, and it sees 3, and it sees 8. So it still has an awful lot of options, doesn't it? It can be 1, 4, 6, 7 or 9. Although again, it can't be 9 because that's going to make those two digits have to be the same, for the same reason we couldn't put 9 here. So this is 1, 4, 6 or 7. Oh, okay. So we need to find somewhere else to look, I think. We've done quite well with box 8. We need 1s, 2s, 5s and 9s. No. We could look at 5s and 9s. We could look at 6 7s down here, 6 7s here. What's this cage adding up to? 20. Oh, but it's got a 9 in it. Okay, so we can't put 6 and 7 in. Okay, so these 3 cells here have to contain the digits 6 and 7, but we can't put them as a pair here because that will make this a 9 and this cage will add up to 22, which is more than 20. So that digit's a 6 or a 7. And that gives us a 6-7 pair in this column. So this column's now got a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple in it. And that square is a naked single 4, I think. Is that right? I've got a 2-5 pair and a 1-3 pair. So that's 4 low digits effectively. This is 4 high digits with the 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, so this can only be the missing digit, which is a 4. That's not easy to see, or at least not for me. So now orange. So this is orange. Oh, look. That's a 4. So this is not 4. So this is 3, 9, which is 12. Is that 19? Yes, so 12 needs a 7, which means that's a 6. And those two squares must add up to 5, and one of them is a 3. So that's a 2-3 pair. This has done it. This has done it. Now we've got 5, 5, 5, 5. 5, it goes opposite. Where does 5 live? In this one. So 5 is opposite green. So green becomes 2. These are not 2. Oh, whoa. Those have not got 2 in them anymore. These are adding up to 6. So they've got to be a 1-5 pair, which means these have got to be a 2-4 pair, which means this is not. This is a 1 now, which is an uncoloured digit. So these two digits. Oh, this 2 is giving me a 2 here. So 2, 4, 2 is green, and 4 we know is orange. So 4 is in one of those two cells in box 1. 1, 5. What goes in this 20 cage now? Because we can actually know that, look. We know it has got Well, it's got 4 in it, and I can write the 4 in. So it's got 4 and then a 7, 9 pair, which means these two squares must be a 1 and a 6, I want to say. No, don't make mistakes, Simon. A 1 and a 2. Yeah, that looks better. That row has now got all the digits in it, and I can get that digit, which is a 9. Okay, that's great. I've got a 3, 9 pair here. So that cell's got to be a 2, that's got to be a 3. 3 we know is yellowified. 7 never got its own colour. And this column needs 1s and 5s to finish it off. And now... No, now I'm stuck. Is there... I don't know. I don't know where to look. Could be this column. What do we need? 4s, 6s, 7s, and 9s. No, I'm going to pencil mark it because why not? 4, 6, 7s, and 9s. I know that's not 4. Oh yes, okay, that's a 6, 7, 9 triple apparently. Okay, so these two squares have got to be a 1, 5 pair. Oh, so there's a 1, 5 pair in row 5. So, and this is all 6, 7s, 8s and 9s, so all sorts of high digits going on. But this isn't really, I don't think it's resolving anything, is it? 5, 1, 5. Oh. Yeah, but remember these two have to add up to 9 more than that one. Ah, that's it. Okay, yeah, this can't be a 1. Because if this is a 1, these two have to add up to 10, and that's going to require this to be a 3, which it cannot be. So that's got to be 5, and hopefully that will add up to something. These have got to now add up to 9 more than 5, which is 14. So we get double 7 in the outies here. So that's a 7. Those are not 7. Oh yeah, these are not 7. So this has become a 7. I've got an 8, 9 pair here. So 9s are aligning. We can ask where 9 goes in the top row. It's got to be in one of these two cells. So we can remove it from all of these digits. That's given us a 6, 7, 8 quadruple in column 2, so a triple in column 2. So that's a 9 at the top. This square becomes just 4, 6. And I bet there's a way of resolving that, but I don't know what it is. 7 in this box has to go in the 15 cage now. And yeah. Look at this. We've got to put 7 in the 15 cage, so it needs 2 more digits in it that add up to 8, and they can't be 1, 7, or you'd repeat the 7. It can't be 3, 5. So that cage is known. That's 2, 6, 7. Which somehow doesn't see any digits that are useful. But those digits, therefore, are 1s, 2s, and 8s. No, not 2. That's not going to work. 1, 4, and 8. Yeah, maybe that. Let's check this out. So 15, 20. Yes, that now works. And the 4 tells us that that's a 4, which gives us a 6 over here, which gives us a 7, 8 pair here, and tells me that this square is a 6. That square is a 7. Whoops. That's a 6. Oh, and this 7 is telling me that's a 9 now, and that's a 7. So this is an 8, 9 pair, I think, which is resolved by the 1, 8 pair we just found up there. So that's 8, that's 9, that's 9, that's 7. This isn't 7 anymore. This column has not... Oh, look, I can get a 1 here and a 5 here. And a 1 here, and a 1 here, and a 5 here, and a 5 here. And this should be a 6. And these two squares are 4 and 9, which is resolved. 9 and 4. Let's correct the colouring while I'm spotting that. 7, 8. So this is a 4. This is a 4. I think we've done all the 4s. This column needs a 1 or a 2 there, which I'm sure is resolved somehow, but I don't know what by. This column, this digit is a 2. Oh, no, it's a 2 or a 6. I don't believe it. 2 or 6, 2 or 6. What? Come on. This must be resolved. Oh yes, look, where does 8 go in the top row? I think it can only go here. So that's 8, that's 1. That's 1, that's 3, that's 3, that's 9, that's 9, that's, whoops, 9, that's 8, that's 8, that's 7. That's 7. It's the only place the 7 can go in the box. This 1 is, oh, this is so lovely. Look, it's all resolved. It's all resolved. 1 there. Now I need 5 and 6. So that's 6 and that's 5. And that's good. Let's do our colouring properly so that we can feel contented with the world. That's uncoloured. All the 5s should just be blue. All the 4s should be orange. All the 3s should be yellow. All the 2s, oh, 2s are very undergreened. There we go. All the 8s need to be purpled, which I have not done very well. And that might be a way of presenting the solution to the puzzle. Yes. Okay. Well, that's what it's like to spend some time in the company of an absolute genius. And I'm referring, of course, to the ridiculous TotallyNormalCat. I mean, that is so... I mean, Killer Sudoku, how can it still be this good after so long? I mean, it's been around for ages and ages, and yet puzzles like this feel as fresh as the moment you first did a Killer Sudoku. It's just bonkers how beautiful this idea is with the sort of the fact that you can't have a 9-cell region made up like that because of the geometry of the box, and that the way that repeated, and then the way that TotallyNormalCat had allowed us to colour the digits, and then the fact we could force coloured digits into the things like the 23 and the 18 cages. I mean, every step of that puzzle has been, you know, cared for and loved and nurtured in order to produce that sort of solving experience. It really is fantastic. That is a fantastic Sudoku. TotallyNormalCat, take yet another bow. And thank you for watching. If you're still with me at this point, I do appreciate it. I hope that was enjoyable. I hope you had a go. I'd love to know in the comments whether you found a quicker way through that or well, I can't believe there are many more elegant ways of doing that puzzle. It's just too good. And do try Philip Newman's amazingly hard classic Sudoku on Patreon, hopefully right now. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.